Are you ready for your first comedian? Wonderful stuff. Oh, please, go wild, go crazy. Welcome to the stage, Tom Deacon!
Yeah! Oh, this is everything I thought it would be and fucking more. This is absolutely delightful. I'll be honest with you, you look like a nice bunch. It's just one guy in a football shirt standing up is terrifying me in the middle of a fucking room. Everyone else has sat down, but you thought, nah, I'm gonna do what I want. All right, Rangers, man. Why are you standing up? Ruining the gig? Okay. I also like about the fact that this gig is so long and I can't even hear what you're saying. So, fuck it. All right. We'll walk on down. People were panicked in the front row. But I thought, no, we'll have a little... You're moving further away from me, Rangers, man. Don't do that. I'm going to have a little chat with you. I'm going to stand here. Is that all right? Of course it is, man in orange. Did you find anything today? Fuck all. All right. As I look around this beautiful tent, I feel a lot of people going, I feel you, brother. I feel you. Didn't get nothing. How long were you... whoop, whoop. How long were you? Whoop, whoop. I don't know the sounds. I was trying to guess on the way here. I was trying to get. It's a beep beep. Is that what you just made? It's a beep beep. Oh, you want to get the latest model out, mate? Nah, don't do beep beeps no more. Right. Well, I'm Tom, by the way. You are John. Lovely to have you. Double N? No, of course, that'd be Gian. Well, John, and where have you travelled from to be here, John? Holland. Begrijpen. Goed. So anyway, that's what you will find with the Europeans. You ask them how they are, but they never ask you how you are. Rangers man has got his chair. Well, you were waiting for your buddy. I sat down. You're waiting for a beer, yeah, fucking hell, that cute. I like some of you who've got a little tankard with you that you've, one bloke, he was very excited about the fact he was having beans and little sausages from a tin tomorrow for breakfast. Come on in, mate, no, I am the show, welcome. You only came because I'm here. Oh, look at that, that's a well-oiled glass of red wine. That's beautiful. Well, you've made it just in time. We've all stood up and said something about ourselves. Which is nice because I think that's what you want. You want to bond. Sorry that you've just basically watching my arse for this show. But we've all stood up. You've got a fucking knife on you. All right, calm down. It's only it's a couple of jokes, mate. It's for the. I don't know. There's no need to get the knife bit out, but you've done it anyway. Well, listen, John's from Holland. Have you ever been from Holland? To Holland, sir? Yes. So, hello. All right. For those of you at the back who didn't hear, I said Holland, he said, or the Netherlands. So someone obviously does a sort of word search in the morning. A little wordsmith here, the Netherlands, because it's not really one island, it's lots of little islands combined. So yeah, and I did speak the language just a little bit there. Yeah, just a little bit. And why aren't you beep, beep, in the Netherlands? Have you found everything there and you're just like, there's one little area left to go, good old Britain. Are there lots of, are you the only Dutch person on this site? No, you don't know. Well, do you know what I'm going to do, John? We're going to have a little quiz in a massive room. We're going to find out if anyone else is from the Netherlands. Okay, so here we go. You leant forward, fella, like fucking hell, it's gonna kick off. I don't know if you know how pairs work. As soon as I find a pair, you do have to leave. But this is so much fun. Well, John, lovely to have you on board for this show. I'm gonna move closer to that basically, so it stops cutting out. But this is absolutely delightful because for a little while, stand-up comedy didn't exist around the whole country, the whole world, because of that thing. He's going, don't go now, I've only just started, really. Yeah, it's a better view from there, isn't it? Yeah, it's fair play. Oh no, he's leaving again. You right? Got a few tarts on your arm, I'm not fucking messing with you. Alright. See my tarts. Every time I find something I get a new tart. I've got Two tarts. But this is lovely. This is lovely because I'll tell you why. Because this is a packed audience. I know you're celebrating this incredible charity event, and it goes to an amazing cause. But for a little while, comedy didn't exist. All we had as comedians is we'd get in our car, drive to a huge field, and this is genuinely not. I'm not making this up. In the distance would be a tent, like a stage area, and all of the audience would be sat in their car, watching the stage from an incredible distance, right? They weren't allowed out of their car. They had to tune their radio in so they could hear the radio mic. And us comedians would pace around on the stage, do a punchline, and then there would be silence. It was one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had, right? The only way the audience could let you know they enjoyed that joke is they would flash their headlights at you, right? So if you imagine a huge field, loads of cars all parked in there, and just a load of lights flashing back and forth. It was the largest dogging event I have probably ever been at. But it was odd. Or what's better than that, they could honk their horns. At the end of the punchline, they'd be like, and it was weird, right? Because you just didn't know what to do. And I did this particular joke. When I arrived, it was in Shrewsbury, I don't care. And I got there. And the guy with the high vis, I'm not having a go, fella, right? But you know what you're like. All high vises are bit prickish. And not in a nasty way, just a little bit like sometimes you just want to flex your muscle and just go, I've got a high vis for a reason. This guy, I rocked up, wound down the window, I said, hello there, fella, I'm one of the comedians. This is his response after that lockdown, that shit we had. He just went, are you? That really threw me because I've done this for years, but I was suddenly like, I think I do. Yeah, I am a comedian. And then I looked at the field, there was about 50 cars already there, and I said, this is incredible. For all the lockdown we've had as comedians, now we're back out again. This is incredible. 50 cars, that's well busy. This is exactly his response. He went, well, to be honest with you, we actually get more for a car boot. Well, fuck you. It's my living here and I'm dying. So then I rock up to this stage and all the cars are lined up, and I think there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on the driver. They probably brought your whole family, because at the end of every punchline they'd have to turn and go, did we find that funny? Did you find that funny? Did you find that? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna give 2. 1, 2, flashes and a little honk of the horn. And that was it. So I'm pacing around on stage. I did a joke about posting an envelope. That's the sort of woke stuff I do, right, in London, okay? And I can see a few faces, man with the red wine who arrived, you're gonna love this, right? But a guy, I tell this story, very posh. And what, can I just say, this gig is gorgeous, because you are not a posh crowd, right? And I mean that with a lot of love and respect. I can see some of you really annoyed about that. You are sort of raging. I can see it in your face like, we are posh. No, you're not, right? And the thing is, the instant giveaway, you know you're not a posh person. I don't know if you know this, but posh people never laugh out loud. So that is why I've heard you laugh. Now I know you're not posh. It's a giveaway, right? Because posh people, a comedy night, they never laugh out loud. The best you'll ever get from them is they go, that's really funny. Cheers. 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 God, I can't wait to tell Rupert. So you have given the fact away that you're not posh, right? And what's beautiful is people tend to hold the laugh. I've done some gigs in the Netherlands, John, and brilliant people, right? I did this knob gag. I've got a dick joke. Just gonna level. It's 2022. You have to let people know that you will be whipping that out. And so I did this dick joke. And what people tend to do in Britain is we hold the giggle in our tummy. We think, fucking hell, this is gonna be massive. But I'm on a works night out. If I laugh at that joke, the next day in the office, they'll be like, oh my God, you loved that comedy night, didn't you, John? Oh, did I? Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, it was pretty good. And they'll go, yeah, you absolutely loved it. You were laughing at that dick joke. Oh, was I? I can't remember. And then the next week, you'll be known as John who loves dick. That's how we work. We're so juvenile. So I'm doing this gig, and this woman did a knob gag, and the woman in the front rows held the laugh, right? She's held it right in her tummy. She's thinking, if I squeeze it, it's not coming out, right? It's a beautiful moment. But we know, if you've ever held a laugh, and some of you on that table are doing very well while I've been on stage. And that's fine, I'll respect your review, right? But you hold the giggle in your tummy and it will come out. So the middle of a 5-minute little joke, about 5 minutes later, the woman in the front row who's holding the laugh, out of nowhere just went, "Murr!" like that. It had forced in her tummy and just fired out, right? We had to stop the gig. Are you all right? She's like, no, I'm laughing, right? But this is what happened. I tell this story about a posh person in a crowd, I told a joke about posting an envelope, right? And he put his hand up at a comedy gig, okay? Very weird moment. He put his hand up, and I stopped the gig and I said, "Is everything all right, fella?" And he said, "No, it's not all right. It's not envelope, it's envelope." Okay? It's a French word. It's not envelope, it's envelope, right? And I tried to build up rapport with him. I think that's how it's spelled, that's how I say it. So I said, he had one of those jackets on that don't have sleeves, and I said to him, "Mate, that is awesome. Can I just say, that is a lovely, lovely gillet," right? And his response when I said gillet, he was like, "It's a gilet!" And I was like, "I'm sorry, I've only ever seen it written down." So I said to him, "Why did you stop the gig?" He said, because I needed to address it, sorry about the pun, and I said to him, "Why have you stopped it?" He said, it's not envelope, it's envelope, it's a French word." And I said to him, "Do you know what, mate? Thank you for stopping the gig, but can I just say it's so lovely to be back gigging in England." Now, I told this story to this crowd, right, of all these cars, and it just a few like flashes of lights, a few like one bloke did his windscreen wipers. I don't know what that meant, whether he really enjoyed it, and then a guy in the second row. This is genuinely what happened. Guy in the second row, just maybe it's in my head, but he just honked his horn a little sarcastically. I don't know if you can do. It just felt like it was a bit like, "Ooh, that was funny," right? And it just got in my head. I can't lie to you. I'm only human, but I thought, no, just shrug it off. Did another joke. Just, oh, you think that's good? So I called him out on it. Middle of the gig, I stopped it. I said, "Listen, second row, he's parked in there." I said, "Oi, you, Mr. Mazda," because he was in a Mazda, obviously. And I said, "What's the problem? I'm not having this, heckling me like that." And he wound down the window and he said, "I'm trying to get out." Fucking incredible heckle. 1 minute I was a comedian on stage, next minute I was a parking attendant, just asking everybody if they could start their engines so this poor bloke could get out of this gig. Now, it's not the worst one I've had. I did a gig in Manchester, start of the year, which is a beautiful thing, and I knew that 3 of the lads that came up to me after the show were definitely from Manchester, because they had their coats on, zipped up right to the top, and I think you can see me from here. The 3 of them walked like a dance sort of group. They sort of walked to me like this, and the one at the front went, mate, fucking hell, mate, that was fucking quality, mate, fucking hell, that was so fucking good." He turns to the guys behind and goes, "Want it good, lads?" And they went, "Yeah, mate, it was fucking quality." They were like, beautiful moment. And he said, "We're going out, we're having it large, and you're coming with us." Now, I've never been kidnapped after a gig, but in Manchester they're very friendly. And then he said something beautiful. He looked me dead in the eyes and he said, "Mate, we're having it large, yeah? You're coming with us, and we are doing coke, yeah?" And I was like, "Okay." He said, "We're doing it off a key. We're bumping coke off a key. Are you in?" Now, I said one of the laddiest things I think I've ever said in my life, right? I said, "How big's the key?" Proper geezer, because I didn't mean to sound like well into it. I was nervous. I've never done it before. Like, what if he's got one of those little treasure chests? You'll know about this little red box, tiny little key. I reckon for the first time I could do that. But what if this is the mayor of Manchester? I'm gonna fucking die. Not the weirdest moment I had. I did, because you could tell. I know it went a little bit quiet. Sort of when I walked on. I do get off a very big alpha male vibe, which you're all picking up on, and I know it goes a little bit quiet when that happens. I had a beautiful moment where I went to the gym, as you can tell, because I've been smashing it this year. Absolutely, just maybe too much. I think you're saying just ease up on the protein, Tom. And I went in. There's an area of the gym called the prison yard, and what happens is a lot of dudes on day release, it would appear, pick massive heavy weights up. They move them to another section of the prison yard. They put it down, and then in the mirror they look at themselves for an uncomfortable amount of time. Right? Wherever you are in the world, they just stare at themselves, and if you look at them long enough, you'll see them just threaten themselves. It's a very incredible thing to watch. They'll just stare at themselves and then just threaten them, right? And if you listen long enough, you'll hear them go, "I am a lion," right? It's incredible. And I thought, Tom Deacon, get in there, it's 2022, you go and enjoy yourself, right? There's a wall of weights okay, at the side, wall of weights. I picked one up. It's not important what that weight was for the story, guys. Okay, it's not important. All right, fine. You're pushing me, Mr. Adidas. You're looking at me like, go on, tell us the weight. All right, fair enough. It was a 40, right? A 40, and I'm smashing it like this. That's what I do. When I get to the top, I go, you know it. So I know how to enjoy myself in the gym. And so I know what you're thinking. That's fine. Could have gone heavier. Yes, I could have gone heavier, mate. But it was a leg day, and I was just warming up a little bit. So, out of nowhere, a guy in the corner of this prison yard looks over at me and he says, "Oi, bruv, can you spot me?" Now, no one's ever asked for my help in the gym, but this is my moment to make a friend. So I look over at him and I said, "Yeah, no worries." And that was my first mistake because I put on his voice, okay? But I was trying to make like friends instantly, and what I did was I put down the 40 grams, and what I did, can't believe that got the biggest laugh, right? So anyway, I'm very playful, right? So what I did, I skipped across to him in the prison yard, and I said, "Yeah, what are we doing?" And he said, "I'm bench pressing, I'm going for 7 reps. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And but I didn't, I just said it in my head. And then what you have to do is, because he's going to be pushing the weight off his chest, you have to get over, no one tells you this, I had to get over a man that I do not know in the gym like this. His head's below me here, his legs are down there, and I had to fight back every urge in my head, because there was a little Tom Deacon in my head going, because I was thinking, you could teabag this man, right? Not in a horrible way, not in a bullying way, just a bit of banter, right? Balls-based banter, right? I could just, and then he'd be like, "What are you doing, fam? Don't put it in my mouth," right? And I'd thought about this. I could just, I'll slip cuz, right? So I'll slip cuz, right? But then I realised, beautiful people of this tent in the middle of nowhere, I realised the weight he was lifting was the same weight as me, and that's when I started to panic. I thought, well, because what you have to do, if you've not spotted anyone before, if they get into difficulty, you have to take the weight off them, rack it, and then go, "What happened? You only did 6 out of 7. And they go, I know, but it hurt. And then you say like, "Well, are you a lion?" And then they go, "I am a lion." You're like, "Get back in there." So you have to do things like that. But I realised, what am I going to do? What if the weight fell on his neck? And he's like, do something, I'm dying. I genuinely thought about it. The only thing I'd be able to do is get off the man, right? Look around and go, "I'm going to get an adult that can help you." And just run off. Weirdest moment of, yeah. I've worked out something, right, which I would like to share with you before I go. This has been an absolute delight. I've worked out, I see a lot of couples in this, and fucking incredible moustache. Don't think I haven't noticed, high vis. That is, how long have you been growing that gorgeous, since you were 9? That is weird and beautiful, all rolled into one. I like it. It's a real flavour saver, isn't it? It's got everything. Didn't mean to say that to your face, the flavour saver. But it's lovely, right? Are you in relationship? I'm not hitting you, by the way. Just some bloke with glasses. He looks like he could be Professor Wheato. What are you? I love that cereal, so don't look at me with those eyes like you haven't. You know when you go down the cereal aisle, you go, "That's me," and then just carry on. Are you in a relationship? Yeah. In love? Yeah, down straight. Just points, right? I've worked out, you beautiful people, because my girlfriend and I have moved in together, and I know it's love, right? And I know that you're going to be camping tonight. Best of luck. Pretty sure it's not going to rain. I know it's love, and I've worked out why I know it's love, and that's because you have to choose the sides of the bed, right? Which is a massive decision. No one tells you that. I remember my girlfriend was like, "Which side do you want?" And I was like, "Oh, that is a big decision." And then she went, "By the way, just to let you know, that's my side." So we decided, she did, and it's very fairly divided. You know, I've got my third, and I've worked it out what love is, right? Because my side is closest to the door, which is a beautiful thing, right? My side's closest to the door, and whether we go on holiday, we go anywhere, she says to me, "Tom, that's your side closest to the door." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, there might be a burglar," right? And I looked her dead in the eyes, and I am doing, I'm on 50 grams now when I'm lifting, right? I said to her, "What do you think I'm gonna do that you're not gonna do if a burglar, and I thought about this, if a burglar kicked open a door like, I'm a burglar, right? Because I feel like they would do that. It's late, it's dark, they don't want to confuse situations. They want to kick open a door like, and then you bolt upright and go, oh my God, who's there? And they're like, it's Keith. Like, they don't want that, they don't need that. They just want to get in, rob shit and get out. And I said to my girlfriend, I said, why you put me closest? And she says, well, Tom, I want you to do something. Like, what would you do? And I said, well, it would be a terrible situation, so it doesn't matter who's closest to the door. We'd both be in a terrible situation. Doesn't matter. And she said, but I still want you there, closest to the door. And I said, why? And she said, well, they might not be there just to do a burgle. And that's when it dawned on me, my good moustached friend, right? She wants me to take one for the team, right? That is why I am closest to the door. And this is a question that you can ask tonight. Every man in this room, every woman in this room, if you really love the person you lay next to tonight, if you know it's love, you have to ask yourself this question: are you willing to take a dick for them? And it is one of the toughest questions. You're looking at me like you've never been asked this before. This is a serious question. If you love that person, you'll take it for them. And I said to her, I said, babe, I don't want to. And she was like, but would you? Do you love me? And I was like, I love you. And she was like, oh, good, but you would. And I said, I'd take a dick for you. And I'd never said that before, you beautiful metal detectors, right? I said to my girlfriend, I was like, I love you, I'll take a dick for you. And then she just went to her side of the bed, I rolled to mine, and I felt more love than I've ever felt before. I was like, yes, a real man. And this is the beautiful thing, and I'm gonna leave you with this, and you've been an absolute delight. As I drifted off to sleep, I remembered reading, statistically, most burglaries in a house happen through the window, which is her side. Listen, you've got a great night ahead of you. I'm in Tom Deacon. God bless, take care.